Monster Hunter World is the first game in the series to be released on the current gen consoles and also the most recent Western release on consoles since Monster Hunter Tri on the Nintendo Wii. What the game sets out to do is bring Monster Hunter back to the West while also making it more accessible for a broader audience. Monster Hunter World does this, and it does it in spades. The story is, it's there. It follows your hunter who is part of the 5th Fleet who has been summoned by the Research Commission to lend assistance to researchers with learning more about the unpopulated land known as the New World. And when I say unpopulated, I mean it's free of humans and other sentient races. It is, however, filled with monsters and other wildlife. Specifically, the researchers are focusing a lot of their efforts on the study of elder dragons and their migration to the New World every 10 years, with this event aptly named the Elder Crossing. The story itself is somewhat interesting and acts as a good motivation for you to go out and hunt for monsters. It's not going to win any awards for having an incredibly deep story, but it's still entertaining to play through. Some, if not most, of the characters who feature throughout the game can be a little eccentric, however, almost as if taken from the roster of an anime series. Gameplay is probably the best thing about Monster Hunter World. As mentioned before, you play as a hunter of the 5th Fleet and you will be tasked with hunting various monsters across a number of locales. You'll start off with the most basic armor imaginable, and you're able to choose a weapon out of a selection of 14 different types. From something as simple as a sword and shield to something a little more technical as a charge blade, there's a weapon or two that should appeal to everyone. The best part about these 14 different types is that you're never restricted to using that one weapon for the entirety of the game. You can always try out another type and see how you like that if you're feeling a little bored with your original choice. The game is all about hunting down large monsters, slaying them, and then using the materials carved from their remains to craft even better equipment to take on other, sometimes bigger monsters. It's a fairly simple cycle, which on paper might sound a little repetitive, but it's actually quite addictive. The weapon and armor options are plentiful, with the former having a large upgrade tree with a slur of elemental and status inflicting options. The armor is also designed in a way that encourages the use of mixed sets in order to create loadouts for different situations. It's also surprising how good some of the sets go together. Monster Hunter World gives you the freedom to explore options, weapons, strategies, you name it. This is quite noticeable in the way you're able to change weapons at any of the base camps at a location while on a hunt. The combat is something that might take some getting used to and also may not be for everyone. You simply can't just grab a weapon and start wailing on a monster. You need to learn the ins and outs of that weapon, its attack speed, its combos, how it may affect your mobility and stamina, and most importantly when to use certain attacks. The combat is a deep and rewarding experience, not only because of just taking down a beast when you feel as if the odds are stacked against you, but also because you almost have a kind of relationship with your weapon of choice. Additionally, your hunter rank or level has nothing to do with your damage output or your skill with a given weapon. Your skill as a hunter and experience from other battles will be the deciding factor in who walks away victorious. The monsters themselves are also spectacular, not only in appearance but also in terms of their behavior and just how much they differ from monster to monster. The first time a particular monster appears is usually quite a dramatic and breathtaking affair. It can be both daunting and incredibly exciting. As for the AI, it's amazing to see just how much work has gone into the creation of these beasts. No two monsters are really the same unless it's a variant of a species. However, even then there are some subtle differences that can be noticed when you fight them. In addition, because the hunts don't happen in an isolated area, it's possible to run into other monsters and a confrontation between the two beasts can occur. These kind of occurrences make the various monsters feel alive, making each hunt unpredictable and at the same time an absolute pleasure. Monster Hunter World also features some online multiplayer so that other players can accompany you on a hunt and vice versa. The feeling of downing a massive monster and then all of you reaping the rewards is thoroughly enjoyable, and I wholeheartedly recommend playing with friends if you can. I do have an issue with it though, and that's if you play the story with friends, everyone in the party needs to have seen the cutscene that introduces the monster. It's a bit of an annoying feature, but thankfully once you're in a party the game runs smoothly and I'm yet to be dropped from a party due to connection issues. If you're playing solo, however, summoning other players into your game is really easy and all you really need to do is fire off an SOS flare. Monster Hunter World looks amazing pretty much all of the time. The detail on monsters and the various locales they inhabit is astounding to look at, and even after so many hours into the game I still find myself pleasantly surprised at new sights and creatures. Also, the fact that each environment features its own ecosystem with different fauna and flora makes venturing into new territory that much more interesting. The music and sound effects take center stage when it comes to the audio in the game. Roars, growls, and screeches from the various monsters sound authentic, and slashing sounds when cutting into them even more so. The music in the game always delivers a feeling of doing something epic, making each fight feel that much more memorable. Monster Hunter World is an excellent game. While it does have some issues with its narrative, it does give you the reason to go out and hunt the various monsters in the story. The issue with blocking co-op off because of the cutscenes is a bit of a weird move, but it is possibly something that can be remedied with a patch in the future. The addictive and rewarding gameplay is surely enough to keep you coming back for more, and is very likely to plague your thoughts as it has mine. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you want to be kept up to date with the channel, you can click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get email notifications every time I upload something. And if you got your hands on Monster Hunter World, let me know what you think of the game in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.